You always wanted to be a fast bowler.
Always.
I heard
I
you say
can't bowl
once.
spin. I'm a pretty ordinary batsman. So.
No, you could have been a spinner. You could have been a wrist spinner.
You reckon?
There've been blonde wrist spinners in Australia before.
Yeah, we potentially, or did take 708 Test wickets.
Yeah, so
not me.
he was special.
He was very
got 300.
special.
You did all right.
Did okay.
Yeah. But you always wanted to be a fast bowler, and you chose the one aspect of cricket that a lot of people think is the most difficult of all, or the most demanding rather than the most difficult. The most demanding of all physically.
I think that's what excited me about fast bowling, was one, I knew from an early age how hard it was, and to run in when it's hot, it's humid. Even in Australia, it's not as hot as it would get here in India, but you're playing in conditions that don't really help you as a fast bowler. So I do believe it is the toughest job, but it's the most satisfying as well. As I mentioned before, when the stumps fly, you get a batsman out. It's like, well, this is great.
Fast bowlers never stop being bullies, do they?
I think you do need some element of bulliness in you, definitely. Yeah. As I said before, there's that white line fever, there's that being on edge the whole time, but you've got to make sure that you embrace it and don't go too far over the edge either. And
yet, have there been days when you said, why do I need to push my body so much? Why do I need to land with all that force? Why do I need to put my knees and my ankles and my shoulder through all this? Have there been days when you thought about it, or you said, wow, luckiest guy in the world, always wanted to do this?
Well, both, but so many days where you think, why am I doing this? Why am I bowling? Why am I putting my body through so much pain, so much strain? It's so hard to bowl when it's hot and humid. But when you get that nick, or you get that great catch in the slips, or you bowl, or get a batsman at LBW, it takes away all the hard work. It does. I don't know. It cancels out everything. You know, you can bowl the whole day, and for that one wicket or that patch of wickets that you're lucky enough to get, it cancels out everything that you've gone through, all that hard work. So you just want more and more and more.
You know, a lot of people think being a fast bowler is about being big and strong and brutish, and yet you're not like that. You're not extraordinarily hugely built, and yet there was a phase when you're bowling quicker than anyone else in the world.
Yeah, look,
Is being a fast bowler something completely different from what some people think it is?
You've got to be, well, yes it is, and you have to be coordinated to be a fast bowler. You do need some element of strength and muscle behind you, because I do believe that your legs and your glutes and your lower back and your stomach's very important to be a fast bowler. You always build a house or a building from the ground up. It's the same as a fast bowler. You know, you don't want to be top heavy, and it might be purely cosmetic, it might look good, but on the cricket field it doesn't really help. So you have to have that element. It's purely transferring your weight through the crease the best way that you possibly can. So you have to be flexible, coordinated, have the will to actually get over your front leg and slam your foot down hard. Whereas you see guys that are massive and really, really bulked up, they can't bowl over 130 Ks. So you've got to be strong enough to make sure the hard work you're putting your body through, it can tolerate it, but not too big that you can't bowl around your chest or your bicep.
I remember many years ago when Michael Holding borrowed one of my T-shirts. And I said, how can you wear my T-shirt? You're a fast bowler. And he said, never bowl more than him. He said, fast bowling's not about bulk, it's about rhythm. Right. And he said, the day I tried to bowl quick, I actually didn't. Yeah. And he said, some days I just surprised myself because I just ran up and I said, oops, that was quick. Has that happened to you? That you just surprised yourself by your rhythm and the speed with which you bowled?
It does, and Dennis Lilly also had that comment, and he told me that when I was 18. He said that the quicker you tend to bowl, or try to bowl as a fast bowler, the slower the ball comes out. So the days where I've been bowling really, really quickly, over 155 Ks consistently, I've had a song in my head, I've been relaxed, I've been just running in a bit like a sprinter. I'm not trying to like charge in and steam in and get really aggressive and everything. You need an element of hitting the crease hard, but you've got to be relaxed at the crease as well, and that's, I could certainly exactly back up what he said.
Were you happy being the lead bowler in the side, or were you much happier when Glenn McGrath was doing that job and all you had to do was be the shock bowler? Just come in and bowl 4 overs quick, come back, bowl 4 overs quick, because McGrath and Warne were doing the other business.
Well, I was always the understudy. I was always the apprentice. When I came into the side, and I'm bowling behind, Glenn and Jason Gillespie and Andy Bickle and Michael Kasprowicz, and behind Shane Warne, all that type of stuff. So to me, I was learning my trade. I was learning at what these guys do. Why is Glenn so successful? Because he's so patient. So I did enjoy that coming on first and second change, but then when it was my time to step up, I then had to be the leader and help these young guys coming through. But if I could choose, I probably love being the leader of the attack. I like that extra bit of responsibility. I like that presence. I like to be the guy that can lead, that can actually lead from the front and try and help the young guys behind me.
It's interesting you said that I was learning from McGrath, and you didn't say learning about bowling the leg cutter or learning about the bowling action. You said you learned about patience. How much is learning in the mind? And how much is learning the physical aspect from being with other great cricketers?
Well, abilities and skill is so important to be a cricketer, definitely. Like the smartest person doesn't make them a good cricketer. The most skillful person doesn't make them a good cricketer either. But the thing that Glenn had and also Shane Warne had was they had an amazing ability, but they had patience and they were smart cricketers. So the day that I realised, and certainly more so in Test cricket, that you don't try and blast a batsman out, you just purely wear them down, line length, just be consistent. And if you're thinking about bowling a bouncer, bowl a good length ball. Bouncer, good length ball, and then bowl the bouncer. That's the one that always gets the wicket. So Glenn taught me that, and that took me, I reckon it was about 2006, 2007 to actually realise that me as a fast bowler, that there are a lot of other strings to my bow as well, and patience. And once I started that patience game, I had a purple patch of wickets.
Is that why a lot of fast bowlers say they learn more about fast bowling after they retire?
Yeah, probably. Yep.
Yeah. Or towards the end, when they can no longer bowl quick. It's a funny thing in life, isn't it? It's true of almost everything in life. By the time we know enough, it's almost too late to be able to do it.
And also, yeah, exactly. And also I think too that when you're at the end of your career and a lot of bowlers tend to slow, their pace drops right off. They can't blast a batsman out anymore. So what other way can they get a batsman out? It's be patient, bowl a leg colour, bowl an off cutter, put the ball in the right area. And if you can do that when you're bowling 155 Ks, it's going to make it a bit harder for a batsman, I would have thought.